Wouldn't it be great if you had a really reliable and consistent sense of self in your own innocence that helped you tell whether people were telling you the truth or not? Because here's the neat thing about that. People who are genuinely telling the truth, right? And the truth isn't necessarily all about facts. It's about feeling, okay? Because we don't know all the facts all the time. But if I'm telling you the truth of what I've experienced, okay, and the authenticity of what I've gone through with something or what my perception or my opinion is of it, okay, the truth that we feel most powerfully, that makes us feel like we're being told the truth, is done from innocence. But innocent is not naive, right? And part of what people are doing when they're blatantly and intentionally and with conscious awareness lying to you is they're trying to distance you from your innocence. They're trying to distance you from your courage. They're trying to distance you from your interest. And I say that last one because that ties in beautifully with why we have to now take that next building block step of interest and add it to our innocence, right? Because how people handle innocence in themselves and in other people, and how people handle interest in themselves and other people is very, 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 very telling. You learn a lot about people if you understand how to read and interpret from a consistent kind of metric how they handle being interested in something themselves, how they handle you being interested in them, how they handle being interested in you. And it's being able to stay connected to our innocence that allows us to do that and then take action that feels true. Because what you're describing there is that when that person's doing that to you and you walk away, it doesn't feel good. It feels terrible. And the reason why it feels terrible, whether they're lying about something super serious or something super silly, it feels terrible because they're not speaking to you under the language we're building right now. They're not speaking to you from their own innocence. So when we're speaking from our innocence, okay, what we're allowing for, and we're just offering right away, right? We're not playing games with it. We're not jockeying for power or position. We're offering the possibility that what we're saying is coming from a harmless lack of knowledge. In other words, we're giving our perspective, we're giving our opinion, we're saying how something feels to us, knowing that it may be possible that we don't know all the facts. We don't know all the relevant information. We don't know every single piece of that scenario, right? So when you're speaking innocently to someone, that's what you're doing. You're basically, you're not waiting for them to challenge you. You're basically saying, hey, I don't know exactly what's going on, but from what I do know, here's what I think. Right? And it's very interesting because people who tend to do that tend to handle their own interest in what the topic is very well. I'll tell you what that means in a second. And they tend to handle your interest in what their interest in what you're saying very well. Right? So they don't get defensive, they don't get fired up, they don't try to defend themselves and back you away and stop you from being interested. They also don't try to force their interest upon you. Okay? So in the work that I do, I spend the vast majority of time, and I say it to people all the time in my work, that I listen more to what you do than what you say. And then after that, I listen more to how you say what you say than what you say. Then ultimately, I listen to what you say. Right? Because that's where all the information is.